Welcome in the ring, folks. Welcome, welcome. Wherever you're joining us from, love us some of that bell, folks. We love it. Good to have each and every one of you with us, folks. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, fast and furious. We hope that you guys are good. We trust that you guys are well. Jolly and all the other folks are joining us. Share the live, folks. It's going to be pace and power. It's a hard start this evening. Might be a hard finish as well. You know, when we say that, folks, it simply means we don't have a lot of time to waste. Good to have each and every one of you. Tag a friend, folks. Tag somebody that you believe need to have the valid and credible information, a friend, a frenemy, a member of the government, you name it, folks. You take your pick. Some folks need valid and credible information. Good to have each and every one of you with us tonight, folks. Whichever page, whichever profile, social media network you're joining us from. Welcome in the ring, Michael and Shauna. Good to have you, Roxanne, Odessa. Good to have you as well, Lyndon. Good to see you, Leon. All our favorite folks are here with us, which means that we are ready to start. It means that we're fired up, folks, and we are ready to go. Do give us a sense if you're hearing us loud and clear, folks. Pace and power, boots on the ground, the 15th day of the National Teacher Strike. We got the CARICOM heads of government meeting happening. We got fire escapes coming out of windows, folks. We got a lot to cover this evening, folks. So let's start. You know we got the fight card set. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from this evening. Tonight, folks, the 26th day of February 2024, wherever you're coming to us live from. Good to have each and every one of you with us. We're ringing the bell one time for you folks. It's a hard start tonight, as we said. It's a hard start. But we know we got some rough and tough folks with us this evening. Folks, as we begin tonight, we got the opener set, folks. We got the opener set. Good to have each and every one of you here, folks. And we caught up a little earlier this afternoon with some folks out of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. You know, they got a special AGM that's coming up, folks, on March 2nd, a special general meeting coming up on March 2nd. We spoke with some of the members today. In particular, we spoke with one, Mahalai McCalmont, and we also spoke with Patrick Mentor, folks, and we want to, that's the opener tonight. As we begin, good folks, that is the opener. Great to see each and every one of you here with us. We sat down with, as we say, members of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union just this afternoon. And here's some of what they told us. It's the opener.
The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union will be hosting a special general meeting and elections on Saturday, March 2, 2024. The meeting and elections will be held both virtually and in person in the various regions. Members in Region 4 will be allowed to vote at the Critchlow Labor College, Wilford Avenue. The meeting will be held from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Members are asked to be on the lookout for information regarding online voting and regional polling places. Full participation of members is encouraged. Let us move your credit union forward.
Welcome to our broadcast. Thanks for making this time for us today as we try to bring people up to date with this is a special general meeting that has the attention of this country. It's going to be held on March 2nd. It's E-Day. The business of the union is going to be conducted on that day. And I think the highlight is the election of new office holders. Where are you guys in the process of planning that day? I know Mr. Mentor was one of those persons who was charged by the court, and I'm using the word charge broadly, charged by the court in executing this special general meeting. Where are we in that process? Mahila.
Hi, Shara. Thank you so much for having us. So we are prepared and ready to go. Everything the court has ordered and we would have asked for in the court is now in place. And so we have our IT provider, whom we had a Zoom meeting last night, or was it, this Sunday night? Last night, that is, yes. And they explained thoroughly what is required of us. Now, the question is, can anyone vote? No, but everyone who is a member.
Hold on. You talk about IT provider. Let's talk about that a little bit. You've mentioned that because y'all are having, this is a national AGM, and
Yes.
members will be able to participate from various parts of the country. So talk to us a little bit about how IT is going to help you guys to do that.
Most importantly, thank you for that question, because I can be in the comfort of my own home. I can lie down on my bed and my foot up in the air, but I can vote for whomever I want. So it's important that we understand that from the comforts of our home, we can cast our vote. How can we do that? We register right now. Our registration is circulation. Registration link is in circulation.
Mhm.
So um, we are going to be clicking on that link. Ensure that you register just some basic information: your name, your date of birth, your credit union number. And basically, you send those information through. You receive a thank you email, your thank you note, and then you receive an email at the end of it. Because of course, you have to put in your email address once you want to vote online. So it's important that we put in our email address there, because we want to vote online. For those persons who want to
Excellent.
go
And
in
we're good.
person, for those persons who want to go in person as well, we can also um, know where the locations are in your different regions, and you can adequately get them.
Excellent. And we're going to be sharing that link during the course of
Yes.
our broadcast. So look out for that in the comment section. You'll see it flitting by you. If you're a member of the union, we're going to discuss in just a second who is a member of the union. If you're a member of the union, you can pre-register. And, in the interest of transparency, I am a card-bearing, quote-unquote, card-bearing member of the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, and I'm going to be participating in this annual general meeting as well. Mr. Mentor, did we miss anything there in terms of the preparation? We did talk about the IT aspect. Any other aspect are we missing out on?
No. Mihela, no, Mihela essentially captured the essential elements. You asked who can participate in the meeting and vote, etc. And that brings us to the point where as much as I hate throwing a damper on what's going on here, is that we need to understand there are certain impediments that are facing us. For example, we will have required a list of the members so that we can be able to read out who is deceased, who is dormant, who is delinquent, generally who is not in good standing. That list has not been provided to us, and with a myriad excuses, we have. I hope I'm not going ahead of your program, but we have also asked that
Go right ahead.
to address the to address the explanation or the excuse that the network service provider, that is Immortel or MSG, that they cannot configure the software to meeting to be convened between the three court-appointed persons and the network service provider. I think it would not surprise you to know that we have not been successful in that quest. All right, so we are unfortunately running blind as far as knowing the numbers of our members, because a lot of members do not know their numbers. And Sherrod, as I'm on it, let me keep rolling on. We have been reliably advised, that there are members of the committee who are going around to the different regions and workplaces and saying to the members that they must not register, they must not participate in the special general meeting. Now, this, to my mind, in certain places, you would call that voter suppression. And what you have found happening here is that there is no way in such with such actions that the members can be made aware of what is expected of them and what generally is the expected outcome of this special general meeting.
Why do you think persons would go to this extreme to be going around telling persons not to vote or not to attend this this special general meeting, once you're in good standing, as you said, as a member of the union, it's your responsibility. It's part of your right. It's part of the benefits you have in attending such a special general meeting. What can be the motive behind person saying stay away from the general meeting? I mean,
if I were to respond to that question, it shows clearly, as obtains in many places, a fear of facing the membership. Look, let us understand this. One of the reasons that this thing has taken nearly 2 years before we have reached this stage is because of fear. It's because of a lack of assuredness that they have been serving the members in the way that would bring great benefit to the members. It's because of that fear. And I must go on to say that to address that deficiency, they have engaged in character assassination, mudslinging, and all the like, when they could have spent their time, more worthwhile by producing vision. But they are visionless. And therefore, that is one of the reasons that they would be going around saying to members, do not vote, do not register, do not participate. And then they use a lot of character assassination to aid them in their nefarious ways.
wow, that's sad. Mahira, you were going to intervene.
Yes, if I can jump in, it can only benefit one group of people. The only group of people it will benefit is the group of people who are going around telling people do not vote. Because of course they know we need a quorum. At this point we're not sure what a quorum is, but they know we need a quorum, and people not participating will not give us that quorum. And if I can always say too, they think that they're our team because the last time we said to our team, do not turn up, and we didn't turn up and they didn't have a quorum. So if they just want to play a game, that will never happen because the people understand the tricks and the all the things that comes with it, and the people are prepared to say, look, we've had enough of you, and we will vote resoundingly for Team Ben. So I'm urging all of us to remember the 2nd of March to vote resoundingly for Team Ben.
Yeah. So let's talk about what qualifies someone to vote. We talk about being a member in good standing. What does that mean? Could somebody who would have joined the credit union today, last week, for instance, come to the special general meeting and be able to participate fully?
Well, I would want to believe
that would not happen.
Go ahead.
And why is that specifically?
No, a member joining last week or last month would not have had their deductions or even their numbers assigned, etc. So that rules them out of participating in the special general meeting. However, what would disqualify a person further, if you may use that term, is if a person has not done any transactions or been using their accounts in the past 12 months, and if a person has been delinquent in, let us say, 3 months, or a person who has been dormant or who has resigned, or a deceased person, those members or former members would not be eligible to participate in the special general meeting. Now, you asked a question there, if I got you clearly, is that one of the reasons for not, as Mihaela will have indicated, for not supplying the members list is the intention to put a whole ton of members, regardless of their standing, whether they are deceased, we know this dead people voting thing. And in that way, they can shout that the quorum is far in excess of what it actually is, in the hope that such a number would not be achieved. And therefore, the reason for asking for the active members role is to weed out all those who do not qualify. And that, my friend, is what is one of the impediments that is being foisted upon us. Another thing is, these members of staff are being pressured, they're being intimidated in the same way that the regional representatives have been intimidated. The regional representatives have been intimidated and told not to tell the members anything, not to post anything, not to send anything out, right? And the regional representatives, for whatever reason, seem to be scared of whatever threats are being held over their heads. The staff members, on the other hand, they are being directly intimidated. They are being told, they were told at one time, there would not be an SGM, even though the court has said there must be. And then it means then that the staff members, the poor people, are uncertain. And therefore, one has got to understand the lengths to which these people are willing to go. That to the extent that the chief executive officer fell ill last week, reportedly. Fell ill last week and went off and proceeded on 7 days sick leave at such a crucial time. It means that the pressure she is facing from that other side, from the majority of the committee of members, has rendered the woman incapable of performing her function.
Wow.
That is worrying.
Well, we wish her a speedy recovery. We wish her a speedy recovery. Did we miss anything? Did we miss anything? Is there anything else you guys want to say as we head into, I think 5 or 6 days off from March 2nd, the big day? And as you guys said, there are a lot of challenges that are being put in your way. Not for you to be able to deliver a very successful special general meeting, but I know you guys are persevering. Is there anything else? I noticed Mr. Mentor did say, as against the other side working negatively, maybe they should have put a platform in place, put a vision in place, and maybe people would be happy to support them once they know what they represent, as against all of the shenanigans that we're seeing. But remind folks some of what Team Ben is aiming to do when it captures the leadership of the credit union and taking it forward.
Definitely. Thank you again for this opportunity, because we want to let our members know that once we get into office, those persons who are in good standing 10 or more years in the credit union, and we check your track record, that you have been a good member, you will, of course, not have to find those many guarantors to have a loan. Additionally, we will ensure that we restart the mortgage and car loans at low interest rates, of course. Additionally, we're talking about having our multi-complex building where you have all of the facilities in place to help you, the members. So, for example, if you are going to a credit union to do business, you can also access a pharmacy. You can also access all aspects of what you would want. Go to supermarket and all of these other things. Added to that, we're talking about having um, ATM machine where you can access your savings at any given time. You don't have to go over the counter. But let's say, for example, something happens to you at night and you urgently need the money. You can push in your card and you can have access to that. So there's so much plans in place, vast plans, big plans, huge plans in place for our members. But look, Sharad, our members can only get these plans providing that they turn out in their numbers and vote resoundingly for Team Ben. Remember, it is 12 persons that you have to vote for. Choose your 12 persons wisely. Count, remember, check back to make sure it is 12 persons. And so let's have a good day on the 2nd of March. Additionally, what I want to urge all our members is to remember that we have to get a quorum. So we're asking all of you to get yourselves logged online from 9 o'clock so we can have that quorum and we can begin our meeting. And look, it will be one less stress from running back to the court. And I can tell you that. I can tell you as an applicant, we will get this over with.
Excellent. So we're encouraging people to sign on in their numbers. The big day is March 2nd. As you said, the proceeding starts from about 9. I think it's for about 3 or 4 hours. We get the business of the credit union done with, and the credit union can move forward. Have we touched on anything, Mr. Mentor, as we wrap up? Final thoughts.
Sharon, there are two things that run through my mind. Shades of Globe Trust. If the members do not get their way, shades of Globe Trust.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I must tell you is that members of the committee have been sending texts to applicants who have applied for loans, virtually threatening them, actually saying to them that they are observing that they're registering and all of that. In other words, the implied threat is that if you continue along this line, is that you won't get your loan. We won't approve your loan. Now they're hoping that they will be in place after March 2nd, which is to me is a pipe dream. Once members, as Mahela is saying, once members understand that the seriousness, the gravity of this situation, once members understand that we are heading for a Globe Trust fiasco, if these people remain in place, they will do the right thing. They will not be intimidated. They will push forward and exercise their rights as members. And another thing, members are confusing the credit union with the Guyana Public Service Union. Members understand clearly. Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited is separate and apart from Guyana Public Service Union. Please remember that.
Correct. Final thoughts, Mahela?
In closing, Sharad, I want to urge all of our members to come out in your numbers. Listen, we have fought long and hard to get where we are. We cannot mess this one up. So, because we have done our due diligence, take this matter to court, we have gotten a ruling in our favor. We need to turn out in our numbers all across the country. Remember, you can vote from your bed through a link, and you can only do so once you get yourselves registered. Now, get yourselves registered. For those persons who want to vote in person, all 10 administrative regions, there are polling stations located. Get yourselves familiarized with where your polling station is, and let's get voting. Remember, vote for Team Ben, vote resoundingly, vote for progress, vote for vision, and vote for the best team who can take the credit union forward. Thank you so much for the
All right.
opportunity.
Excellent.
Two other things. Before you go, Sarah, we have informed the secretary of the committee and the CCD of the arrangements that are in place for the special general meeting. We have done all that formality suggests that we do. And one other thing, just to support our contention of the threats being issued to the regional reps. One rep even offered the excuse that the phone has frozen. That means that the implication there is that they would not be able to send out messages to the members. You get what's going on? You see what's going on?
Well, we hope that these challenges can be overcome. We're looking forward to a highly successful special general meeting. March 2nd starts at 9 in the morning. Various locations, as the team said, in the 10 administrative regions and virtually. And we're going to continue to bring you guys more information as we draw nearer and nearer to March 2nd. It's a Saturday, so not too much in the way of work. Shouldn't be too much in the way of work. So you can go physically or virtually into this special general meeting of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. Guys, thanks for coming by on such short notice. Thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing from you folks again shortly.
Thank you.
The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union will be hosting a special general meeting and elections on Saturday, March 2, 2024. The meeting and elections will be held both virtually and in person in the various regions. Members in Region 4 will be allowed to vote at the Critchlow Labor College, Wilford Avenue. The meeting will be held from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Members are asked to be on the lookout for information regarding online voting and regional polling places. Full participation of members is encouraged. Let us move your credit union forward. The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union will be hosting.
Welcome back. We were talking there with folks from Team Ben. You know, the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union have that special general meeting on March 2nd. It's Saturday, believe it or not, already. And the team stopped by early on to let us know what is happening, folks. Share the live, smash that emoji button. We got quite a few things to share with you guys. Quite a few things to share with you. But the other ones, we come into 592. What is the order? You know, once we come into 592, folks. All right. Say no more. How are you guys doing? Once we come into 592, it's trouble. Yeah, we got a lot of things to share with you folks. You ain't gonna want to go any place else. Good to see so many of you on the live, folks, as we head into the 592, folks. Lots happening. It's plenty. It's enough. It's enough, and not to scare anybody or so on. But MASH 2024 is just different. MASH was just different. If you know MASH was different, oh, give me a hashtag, the man. MASH different. MASH 2024 different. I'd love to see a hashtag on that. MASH 20. I don't want to criticize too much anybody or any. All I can say, it was different. It was. Y'all see some of the stuff out there, folks. I won't lie to anybody. March 2024. Give us this team here. Yeah, there's a lot. Something is in the air out there. Y'all find this year just started different. There's a flu going around. Some folks say it's dengue. They had it once, they had it twice in 2 or 3 months. Something's in the air out there, folks. March 2024. Some of these people afflicted. I just show y'all one photograph and it says it all. But good to see so many of you on the live. Angela, Jordan, Roland, Anita, Sharon. Yep. Good to see you folks. The big thing over the weekend was name that animal. If you can. It's a hybrid instead of representing MASH. MASH was, It was full animal farm. MASH was hybrid. It's a mix with cheetah, hyena, leopard, and jaguar. But hybrid, folks. But mixed with little yard fowl. Hybrid. Very much so. That's what the folks tell us. MASH was just different. That's all we can say. And over the MASH weekend, we saw a lot of things. It's something in the air out there. You don't find so? At a nursery school in Alberta, a fire escape comes out of the window, second story. And young children got to climb up. Folks, I tell y'all, once we come into 592, trouble with the capital trouble. Folks, when the 592, where y'all think we are? Here is where we live. Once we have arrived. And you know the whole story right there. Nothing else is needed. Nothing else. I wanna welcome all of the visitors we have with us tonight. The folks from CARICOM who are joining us this evening. I want to thank all of them. The folks from CARICOM joining. You might not understand all, but you can pick up some things. When you all go back home after this summit, some of it just might make sense. When you go back home after the summit, some of it makes sense. Don't worry too much. It's a lot happening. Right? A great many things happening, folks. And we saw this fire escape out of it. We're like the only country. One of the only countries who would put a fire escape. Young children, it's a nursery school. It's a nursery school. You'll hear me saying a report is a primary school. But it was a nursery school, folks. And them boys park a fire escape. You got to pull a couple desks and so on. And the children and so on, we got to find the best way out. Find a window or some mechanism like that. I want y'all know it's different. It's 2024, right? And the team is different. Is how different you can be in 2024. We're different. folks, y'all look around. We find in this country, right? We are different in this country. A fire escape, believe it or not, outside of a nursery school. That's how we do it. What else you want me to tell you? Fire escape outside a nursery school. That's how we do things, folks. And this is one we're gonna circle back to. So bear with us. Bear with us, good folks. We're gonna circle back to it. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. The many places you're joining us from. Let's pick up on perhaps the heads of government meeting there happening with CARICOM. Orphan Ali. Orphan Ali is chairman of CARICOM. Yeah. I don't want to do it. Says that it's time for them to help Haiti, as we were helped with Venezuela. And Haiti is topping the agenda for the 46th heads of government meeting happening currently underway in Georgetown, Guyana here. Haiti makes the agenda. Climate change makes the agenda. Energy is making the agenda making the agenda as well. Trade and the regional trade is making the agenda. I thought we would have been a little further ahead than where we started. I really thought we would have been a little further ahead. No, it ain't about time, folks. It ain't about time. Please and thank you. We should be a little way off from where we are. Take a look, take a listen. Adam Harris, tell us what's happening with the CARICOM, the 46th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting.
The first business session at the CARICOM Heads of Government Conference opened this morning at the Marriott Hotel with an address by President Irfan Ali, the CARICOM chairman. He welcomed the presence of those delegates who came from far to help work on expanding and strengthening the CARICOM relationship. There was a representative of the United Arab Emirates and the representative of Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is also offering the region a CARICOM house in Saudi Arabia, and we're hoping to activate this. And they're also in the process of establishing their physical presence, diplomatic presence in the region also. Thank you.
There were representatives too from the United States, Ghana, Lesotho, the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United Nations. CARICOM Secretary General Carla Barnett described the opening ceremony on Sunday as excellent.
We are still celebrating our 50th anniversary year. We have been proudly acknowledging the strides we have made, and we look forward to making additional strides here at this meeting.
Ali said that the agenda has many weighty issues, one of them being Haiti.
We started for the last 2 days with Haiti. CARICOM heads met on Saturday to commence discussion on the challenges we have with Haiti. This morning, with the Friends of Haiti, an expanded grouping that included all the stakeholders and partners working with Haiti, we had a breakfast meeting, and we are hopeful that sometime today we will be able to point the Haitian people, the region, and the global community in the direction through which we believe long-lasting, sustainable solutions can be achieved.
He said that organizations in Haiti should be prepared to make compromises for the good of the country. He also spoke on the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME.
Prime Minister Motley has been leading the charge on the CSME. Last night I highlighted one of the critical issues, and that is the implementation of decisions. And of course, at this meeting, we'll have some mechanism through which the subcommittee on senior legal officers, SOLAC, we can get SOLAC to step up and to push forward the work of the CSME and this community.
Climate change is another major issue built for the summit. President Ali said that the forum will seek to advance the region's position on climate change.
We continue to advance the region's position on climate change, financing, adaptation and mitigation, and a fairer mechanism through which new loans are secured for developing world, in keeping with the just transition and in keeping with the objective of all of us achieving our climate targets.
The Caribbean community has also been forging ahead with food insecurity. The discussions will be focusing on how the region should ensure that it ends hunger in the region by 2030. Northern Brazil is being integrated into the food drive.
And later this week, we will have President Lula here to have a CARICOM Brazil meeting to discuss greater collaboration and cooperation between Brazil and the region. On energy, we believe the time has come for us to have a regional energy plan that looks at the future, all forms of energy, and to see how the region can be self-sufficient, how we can guard against inflationary pressures.
He said that one of the goals is for the region to become a net exporter of energy.
Yeah, welcome back, folks. So much for that. So much for that. You know, we got to pick up the pace a little bit on the pick up the pace. Too many times we hear this same kind of thing, climate change and Haiti and so on. at this CARICOM heads of government meeting. We got to pick up the pace just a little bit, folks. A little silver lining. They tell us that the U.S. ambassador to the UN has made a pledge of 15.8 million US funding. They tell you one of the big issues on the cards there is climate change. And the US putting its money where its mouth there. You don't know what we're talking about. Putting its money where its mouth is at. Not just talking the talk, but the US walking the walk here, folks. 15.8 million US dollars going to fight climate change. Yeah, you gotta put up or shut up. That's how it goes sometimes. Put up, good folks, put up or shut up. It's just the way it is. And this is a U.S. ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield. Yep, the U.S. coming on board there in a 15.8 million US dollars for climate change. Kudos for the U.S. Always there, folks. Always there lending a hand. The teachers are firing up. What day are we with the strike? I just know it's a strike day. Somebody help us on what day? I see 21, 15. I lost count. I just there you go. There you hold a placard and you make the arguments. Lily Gulliver, Cheryl Glenn, Bantu King. Folks, wherever you're joining us from, the only cost of admission is to share the live, wave the doors, smash that emoji. When there's a house burned down in Yeovil today, folks. We heard it was a fire on there. Every day. The teachers, they'll fire it up for the picket line. Fired up in a different way. Fired up for the picket line, folks. Yep, another week, fourth week, certain of that. Fourth week of the Ghana Teachers Union national strike that has been extremely successful, folks. And the folks tell us a little bit about how it went down. 15 days, no teaching thus far. Take a look, some of what happened out there today.
For 15 days, the nation's teachers have been on the streets protesting for better pay and conditions. The Ghana Teachers Union contended that it had been seeking negotiations with the government since 2020. It spoke of the various proposals it had submitted without any response from the government. Today, the striking teachers were outside the head office of the Education Ministry. Ms. Nima Flubes is a teacher. She's also a member of Parliament. She said that the strike has had an effect on her.
It is quite disheartening to know that the government will take a position not to engage with the union to address the issues that is going on there. As a teacher, it is affecting me because I have all my children at home. And so I have to be out there in the struggle every day, still go home and work with them, talk with them, on them getting the work done. They're very anxious to come out to school. And I'm quite sure all your children are anxious to come back to the classroom.
She said that happy teachers will bring students to the classroom. She wants the government to engage the teachers so that the matter can reach a conclusion.
Too long, 15 days is too long. Getting up every morning from out there is great strength, great courage, because you have to find someone to look for it and still come out here on the front line to let them understand teachers have rights.
And there were a chance. Teacher salary low, prayer salary high. And President of the GTU, Mark Light, was among the protesters.
They're ready to go back to the classroom, but we await government's response through the Ministry of Education or the Ministry of Labor to meet with us at the table so that we can agree on how that going back would happen.
He said that the clear message that the union is getting is that the government is reluctant to come to the bargaining table.
We recognize that to say you care and to act caring is different. And what we have seen is a conscious effort to act on caring by this government. And we have gotten no indication that they value the educators of this nation.
Now, the children who have been unable to get quality education is unconscionable, he said. Those parents who say that the teachers are unreasonable have been blindsided, according to Light.
We have not really gotten a clear understanding of what teachers go through. In fact, many of them see the school as a daycare center, and the fact that they can't drop off their children to school and they have to make alternative arrangements may have been the reason why some of them are saying that. But those good parents who visit schools and understand the struggles of teachers recognize why we are out here, and they are with us. They are standing with us in solidarity, And that is why many of them have been keeping their children at home because they recognize that the teachers are out there for a just cause.
Yeah, yeah, it's a just struggle, folks. It is a just struggle. And if you haven't had a chance to, as yet, folks, across the 10 administrative regions on a daily basis outside of the education offices, teachers are on the picket line asking for a livable wage. So if you haven't gone as yet, you haven't gone back in a couple of days, folks, make your voices count. Please and thank you. And you know what? The president of the Ghana Teachers Union told reporters today that the strike continues to be impactful. This is Mr. Mark Light. He said it continues, they continue to make an impact. He says, as more and more teachers come out of the protest line. They were out there yesterday as the 46th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting got on the way at the National Culture Center on a Sunday, making their voices heard. And they were also, again, out of the various education district offices around the country. And the folks caught up with President Mark Light today outside of the Ministry of Education in Brigham. Take a listen.
The nationwide strike orchestrated by teachers across Guyana is continuing. Today, one group assembled outside the Ministry of Education dressed in black and white. President of the Guyana Teachers Union, Mark Light, stated that the number of teachers coming out to join the protest action is increasing as they continue to seek the attention of the government.
And that the strike has been impactful because the education system is disrupted. And if the education system is disrupted, that in itself is an impact. Also, it is impactful because teachers are not coming out from one education district. We have teachers from all the districts, the 11 districts in education here, all 10 administrative regions. So it is impactful, but it's just government's position of arrogance, their position of wanting to show who is boss, has kept us out here all this time.
Last Thursday, Justice Sandal Kisoon granted a temporary order blocking the government from deducting the salaries of striking teachers. At the same time, the High Court judge also granted an order which restrains the government from withholding the remittance of teachers' dues to the Guyana Teachers Union, GTU. The orders were made at the first hearing of the case filed by the GTU to challenge the government's decision to deduct pay from the salaries of striking teachers and also blocking the administration from moving ahead with a decision to discontinue the deduction of union dues from the salaries of teachers on behalf of the union.
Yeah. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. It's a lot happening. It's a lot happening. And we did tell you of that fire escape, outside the window at the city nursery school. A lot in the education sector happening. And folks, I must tell you, or Van, first and foremost, that fire escapes outside windows are not anything new. It is not innovative by the Ghana government by any means, any kind of innovation by any means. But it's just strange. A nursery school, the second floor, you would find, a fire window escape, a window fire escape, however you want to frame it, however you want to term it. But I didn't send any of the boys. I had to go myself to see about this fire escape. It was a nursery school, second floor window. Take a look.
Guyana is a country notorious for fires. The Madi Secondary School dormitory fire of 2023 is seared into the conscience of the nation, perhaps the worst in the country's history, where 20 students lost their lives tragically. As a result, the government of Guyana has been attempting to improve its response to fires, and especially in mitigating risk and possible loss of lives. The fire escape outside a window in Georgetown at a public building, however, strikes many as odd. Perhaps because the window is outside the second story of a primary school in the city, and to access the window, the young students in a fire scenario would likely have to climb up to get out of the window, presenting an additional hurdle and then down the fire escape. It should be noted, however, that fire escapes outside windows or fire escape windows are not totally unusual internationally as part of fire regulations and codes. But it would definitely be odd as an escape route at a school with such young children where the window itself is a barrier to an easy exit.
Yeah. Yes, folks, there it is. A lot of things we're dealing with. It's a lot. 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 Just it's 2024 different. That's all we say. 2024 different. As our teachers continue to strike and engage the education sector in this country for betterment. Dr. Vincent Adams, said over the weekend, teachers in Guyana are the worst paid. Guys were on that too. The worst paid teachers in Guyana. That's what he said. That is what the good doctor said. They are the worst paid. Is he right? Are our teachers the worst paid? In Guyana, Jewel Ward, Lester Tom, Evelina, Magnet Barrow. Are they the worst paid? Troy, Patricia McKenzie, Kyle. Are they the worst paid?
The strike called by the Guyana's Teachers Union has entered its fourth week. On Sunday, the striking teachers took their demonstration to the opening of the CARICOM Heads Conference. They had already protested outside the Energy Conference. Today, the protest shifted to the head office of the Education Ministry.
Standing in solidarity for livable salaries. For too long, our voices have fallen on deaf ears. This government has continued to neglect the process of teachers. Have you heard me? This government who knew prior to getting into government what teachers should have gotten have now to listen to the cries of teachers, and so we will continue to demand what is rightfully yours.
That was during a recent demonstration in Linden. She said that the GTU had submitted its multi-proposal to the government since 2020, and there has been no response. The GTU General Secretary Coretta MacDonald shared her podcast over the weekend with Dr. Vincent Adams, the former head of the Environmental Protection Agency.
This here is not only about the teachers' strike. This here is about the nation and building a nation. You have decided to draw the line and for us to move forward to do what is right for this country. So I want to congratulate you.
He said that Guyana has the highest GDP among countries in the world, but the lowest salary for teachers. Dr. Adams said that the numbers don't lie.
Trinidad and Tobago, a teacher averaged $1,500. Guyana average, and I run some quick calculations. The average salary of a teacher in Guyana is $179,000. Of course, there are some who make like 91. I don't know how they live in it. And as you recall, the vice president was asked if he can live on $85,000. So the question that he has never answered. He just goes off as usual into his own little thing.
The average teacher's salary converts to some $856 per month. Grenada doesn't provide any oil, but it pays its teachers $1,890 a month.
Dominica, folks, Dominica makes $1,670, $1,670. Even Antigua makes $1,110, and then of course St. Martin is $2,714. So here again is the country with the highest GDP, and teacher salaries are the lowest.
He said that the budgetary allocation for the Education Ministry is $29 billion. He was critical of Vice President Jagdio's comment that the opposition wants money to feed the people. More recently, Jagdio said that there was a 162% increase in the education budget. At the same time, the infrastructure budget grew by some 800%.
Yeah, that's some of what's happening in the education sector, folks. Didn't I hear right that in St. Martin's teachers getting 2,700 US? Did I hear? Rewind. St. Martin's 2,700 US. St. Martin's, here we come. Here we come, St. Martin's 2,700 US. That's from the corner by the side alley. Ralph Frederick says Antigua gets $1,700 US. He said, no, sir. $1,700 US teachers making Antigua and Barbuda. You see why teachers are still leaving these shows for nice time? And they even think people thieving our teachers. They're thieving them at $1,700 US. They're stealing them at $2,700 US in St. Martin, $1,700 US there in Antigua and Barbuda. That's perhaps how it's going down. There's a lot happening. I'm telling you, people turning to all manner of things these days. We say if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Since August 2nd, 2020, folks, cocaine fall now the air. Cocaine fall now the air. All over. Cocaine in this, cocaine in that, cocaine in the PVP, cocaine in Freedom House, cocaine all over. Cocaine all over. My God. And they caught two of them last Thursday. Them boys were receiving some duffel bags over the fence at Cherry Jagan International Airport. Look, the mother milk still in the face. My God. The mother milk still in the face. They were receiving duffel bags over the fence. That's my question. We always see the carriers. We always see the mules. But the intellectual authors, they tell us where this cocaine was headed. You can hear just now. The street value would have been $3 million. And you can hear what kind of dollars we're talking about. We never knew who the carrying the 2 tons to Belgium. And we're not going to know who the carrying these, the owners of the duffel bags. Right? But the young ones got themselves caught up. But if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, folks. Yep. Airport staff. Take a listen how it went down.
On Thursday, Kanu officers attached to the Chedijagan International Airport intercepted 2 males who were observed retrieving 4 duffel bags over the CJIA's fence from an unknown male. At the time, the Kanu officers were performing duties at the baggage shed area. A search of the said duffel bags led to the discovery of 64 brick-like parcels suspected to be cocaine. Travis Seeley, age 26, was a shift leader attached to the new Tamiri handling service, and Kobe Baker, 20, was a ground security coordinator attached to the Secure Innovations and Concept, both of Tamiri. The men and the suspected narcotics were escorted to the Kanu's headquarters, where the suspected narcotics tested positive for cocaine. It weighed 71.2 kilograms, which has an estimated street value of 64 million Guyana dollars. The narcotics was intended to be loaded on a British Airways flight bound for St. Lucia, which onwards connected to the United Kingdom. If the narcotic had reached its intended destination, the estimated street value would have been over 3 million pounds, which is equivalent to approximately 679 million Guyana dollars. Investigations are ongoing.
Yeah, y'all heard that street value, folks? Y'all heard that street value? I think them got that kind of money to produce that kind of cocaine. The ground handler something, the security somebody, 2 low-level staff at CGIA, you think it's their manufacturing? Them kind of cocaine, folks? You better come up to scratch. Please and thank you. You better come up to scratch, folks. But again, can't do the time, good folks. We said don't do the crime, y'all behave yourself, the man. Control yourself, sir. Please and thank you. Yeah. Who are the intellectual authors? Who? Tell us some other stories, folks. We got a couple other things we're tracking. A couple other stories loaded. We got a lot of Reagan, who Reagan? You know, a lot of cases out there with electoral fraud. They can't prove who rigged yet. All they know about rigging. They can't prove who rigged a damn thing yet. They can prove nothing neither. Think that evidence store. You can't prove what never happened, what was never attempted. It's madness. But you know what? Heard some folks over the weekend said, these jagabats and trench crappos, these tadpoles, these cricketers, They are the intellectual artists, you know. They are the real sanctimonious gangsters. Take a look what the leader of the PNCR said and what Member of Parliament Ganesh Paul added as well. When you point one thing at people got several points in back of the yard. You believe people don't know your history? Folks, we got some stories loading. Take a listen.
Former Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield and other officials in the 2020 elections are before the court for alleged electoral fraud. One section of the mainstream media has described them as opposition members. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton described the charges against the people as being trumped up.
In 2020, said you had all the evidence. You charged these people in 2020. We are in 2024, and there is still to be a proper trial. Who should be on test here? Is the People's Progressive Party and the Guyana Police Force. Clearly, they do not have any evidence, but they have trumped up charges.
He said that it's important to know that all the charges against coalition members have been dismissed.
We sense what the PPP is trying to do is to find a magistrate who they can control to be able to, in violation of law, convict somebody. But the evidence does not suggest that there was any illegality performed by PNC persons in the last election.
He noted that Vice President Bharat Jagdeo apologized for PPP representatives forging the signature of a dead woman.
And not one charge has been brought against anybody throughout the country in the local government election. When we lured them into believing we were not going into the election, but was doing our work and preparing, they went ahead and forged signatures, did all kinds of things. The evidence was provided to the Ghana Police Force, and they did not charge anybody.
He said that where there has been clear evidence of electoral fraud, the Ghana Police Force has refused to charge despite being presented with the evidence.
The history of elections in this country will show that whenever the law comes into play, the PPP has been shown to be the party that violates election rules.
Member of Parliament Ganesh Mahipal said that the irregularities weren't confined to the 2020 elections. He said that in 2018, the signature of another dead person was forged. This was done at Wakenham.
And that is when they withdrew their participation when it came to light, that the PPP's list had a dead person's signature. They're operatives in the field. They walk around and they go and they forge people's signature.
He pointed to a letter written by Joan Ambedkar. She hailed from the Cornelia Idas Shortville Neighborhood Democratic Council,
indicating that she had never signed on any support form for the elections, and to her amazement, her signature and her family's signature appeared on that sheet of paper, and she disassociated herself by way of putting a letter out publicly that is also in the public space. Election rigging and election manipulation has always been a trait of the People's Progressive Party.
Pim. It has always been a trait of the People's Progressive Party. Pim. We got some stories we're following, folks. McGarrell, Seville, DJ Cassillo, or DJ Callo. Yeah, it's some nice names, man. Rosetta, Andrew, Heaven, Fit, Bantu King. There's always been the trait, the calling card. I ain't tell y'all. We know the whole thing, folks. Got some stories we're following. And as we were coming on, we learned that our former minister, Simona Brooms, carrying Bardness to court. You like slander, libel people now? 400 million. Like there, you call me something at the same time too. 400 million. Yep. Put your money where your mouth there. Can't just slander and libel. I didn't tell you about that quite recently. That's one of these stories loading, folks. And I have you know, tomorrow there can be an update at 12 o'clock from the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union I think they're going to have another update at 7 tomorrow evening, right here, to tell you how things are going along. And what's going to be different about this one, if you're a member of the union, you're going to be able to join that live and ask your questions, if possible. If you have any questions or so on, you'll be able to join it live. I think they're going to be doing it via Zoom. Folks, a lot of things we're following. 400 million plus damage a woman's character. Don't do it. Where were you yesterday, folks? Where were you guys yesterday? We were on a cleanup, folks, of Durban Park, Jubilee Park, the iconic Durban Park. We call it with a number of public spirited citizens who don't like the decadence and decay that the current government has allowed Durban Park to become. And we also caught up with a member of parliament, the Honorable Nima flew best, to ask her, why she was out there supporting the cleanup effort. I mean, like ipso facto. You can't see things happening anyhow and go along with it. They're going to be back next Saturday from 6 in the morning. Bear it in mind, folks. Take a look and take a listen. MP Best, I've noticed you've come out this morning and you're giving your support here to this cleanup effort on Durban Park Park. Tell us a little bit about the cleanup effort and why you're lending your support to it.
The Durban Park area, for me, it's very historical. The entire nation, you look at the entire surroundings of Durban Park, it reminds us a lot about our history and symbolism. Hence, cleaning out Durban Park is absolutely important because as you would notice, people do driving in here, people do exercising, they do the different sports. We have area where young people play their football. And what I've noticed is that over a period of time, the area keeps getting smaller because of the bush that continues to grow, as well as the amount of garbage we find here. So I will continue to give my support to cleaning Durban Park. From our evaluation this morning, it is a whole lot of work to be done. So we have to be back here more than one time to ensure that we reach a standard that we would like to reach, to ensure that we have a clean space and people can enjoy recreation.
I don't know all the reasons behind why it may not have been clean before, but would you like to see more collaboration, perhaps from central government, keeping Durban Park in a pristine condition? I note that just up the road from where Durban Park is, the heads of government meeting is going to be being hosted, at least the opening ceremony.
Yes, the government should take part in maintaining Durban Park and giving the support that is needed. Because, again, the heads of government conference is being held at the Cultural Center, which is right on the same stretch. They have the court hall, they have now the fire service, Durban Park, with history, we know it celebrates our 50th independence anniversary. Thus, behind Durban Park, we have Coffee Monument, the Coffee Square for Revolution, that reminds us again of our history. Just in front of that, we have the Independence Arch. So it is absolutely important that we have this area clean. Like the president that seems to forget that this office is just over the top. So it is important as guidelines that we come out and maintain this space which provides the much needed recreation opportunities.
Finally, what would you say maybe the reluctance to keep Durban Park clean is because they have alternative uses? We see two grounds in Caracas Avenue going to hotels and other things. What would you say to that kind of scenario where Durban Park may change the use of the land here?
Well, I would hope that the government doesn't have any intention to take Durban Park to give it away to some other purpose. When we know that this recreational space is absolutely important to Guyanese, for them to get their exercising, for them to do the driving test, for them to do the walking, all these different things. And most importantly, the historical significance. Every other part of the world, when there is something significant done, you see something erected, something that is there to remind you about this history. And we know that Durban Park will be remembered for Guyana's 50th independence celebration. So I don't anticipate and I hope that the government would not take this area to do something else with it when we have our history.
Thank you very much. MP Best, I've noticed you've come out this. Yeah, apologies there. She's ready. She said, I hope. I hope. They don't have any alternative uses. They've allowed that place to run down. That's part of the wickedness of the government we're dealing with. Wicked, folks. Wicked, stink and dirty. Wicked, stink and dirty. That's the folks we're dealing with. Those are the people we're dealing with. And that's how you see it operating. That is how you see it operating, folks. Thanks for joining us, folks. That being said, that's going to do it for us at this end, folks. That's the last bell. Oh, that's the last bell. That's the last bell, good folks. Is it? Is it? Thanks for joining us. From the many places you tuned in from tonight, we did about 30 stories this evening. 30 stories later, or so, give and take one or two. That being said, folks, we did promise you valuable and credible information, and some of the stories we even shared here, we posted on our YouTube channel even before we began the broadcast. That's why we told you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get information in real time as soon as we post it, folks. That's the YouTube channel we're talking about there. Search for credible sources on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button, folks. Smash the notification button as well to receive all the notifications as soon as we upload. Please and thank you. Whichever page or profile you're joining us from, like that page, folks. Follow that profile. Wherever you're joining us from, that's going to do it for us at this end, good folks. Yep. Pace and power. Pace and power. That's our time. And that's our program. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. It's been our pleasure. Renella and Beatrice and Rosetta, Lester Thorne, Renella, Heaven Fit. So I done smash it. Ingrid King, Debbie Collins, Rusty Man, and all the other folks joining us. That's our time. And that's our program. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe.